Hi, I'm Melissa Vance from the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm excited to be with you today. And joining me will be our brand new president of the Chamber, Phil D'Amico, followed by a new chamber member, OptiVise IT, and we're going to learn all about cybersecurity, and then we'll wrap it up with a talk with Ed and Taste of Wayne County. Excited to have joining me for the first time our brand new president and CEO, Phil D'Amico.
Yeah, it's great to be here. And by the way, you deserve a raise. I don't know who your boss is. We'll make sure we talk to him.
Yes, so glad.
No, it's great to be with you, and a great program as well.
Well, we're excited to have you on the ground, and you've really hit the ground running with out in the community, meeting a lot of people. And how's your first 3 weeks gone?
Got an amazing staff, as you know. No, it's been great. The people have been great. You know, my prior background was in economic development. So in those roles, for 7 years, I had the benefit of first doing business retention and expansion, and then getting into the business attraction side. And as you know, in chamber work, it doesn't matter if it's economic development or chamber, you meet tons of people. So the response has been fantastic. The people here are amazing, and some of the best people I've met across the state. It's a lot of pride here.
Absolutely. Our community is, I know I'm a little biased because it's home to me, but we just have a lot of very friendly and passionate people about making this community what it can be.
You really do. And that's one of the things that I think I've been most impressed with is that, A, there's a lot of pride, but I think, B, there's a lot of people that really believe that a renaissance in this particular area, transformation, is extremely possible. And we're on our way, I think. A number of things that I think can happen to speed that process up, but I think a lot of people do see the vision and the future here.
Absolutely. And, you know, economic development and chamber work are hand in hand in most communities, but the chamber in its history has worked so closely with economic development that I'm sure your background is going to just, you know, fit right in with what's been happening. Yeah,
and one of the things, for 17 years prior to me coming here, worked in the North Central region, so the South Bend area and they call the Michiana region. A lot of similarities, I think, between the two old manufacturing communities that are trying to reposition itself, recreate itself into kind of the new innovation. And it's interesting, you have technology individuals coming on. That plays such a big part, I think, for the future of our region. So a lot of similarities between some of the old manufacturing towns in Indiana. Richmond certainly very similar to that demographic. So I think there's a transformation happening all across Indiana, and Richmond could be a big part of that.
Absolutely. Our hope is that we can continue capturing students graduating from college, highly skilled, eager to become entrepreneurs or jump into new fields, and I think it's exciting to see that happening with the colleges here. Yeah,
and I think the interesting thing that's going on here as well is the agriculture importance that a lot of other parts of the state we've seen, but I think Wayne County specifically is well positioned to grow that part of the demographic and market sector. So that agriculture piece is not, that could be a real selling point for this Wayne County and this region.
Right. Well, tell us a little bit about why you chose Wayne County. You could go anywhere, and why Wayne County?
Well, number one, I was extremely impressed with the people when I sat down to talk. And first off, I'm very fortunate to get this position, extremely honored. There were a number of great candidates that probably interviewed for this opportunity, and I'm really fortunate to be here. And I wasn't just saying this, I am blessed with a good staff. Yourself and Ed De La Paz have been fantastic to work with. I think the team's in place, and I do believe that together all of us can really help create a new vibrancy and energy, and help be a part of the transformation process. I think parts of it started, so I think it's incumbent upon you and I and Ed, as well as others and a lot of the stakeholders in the community to help advance it forward. And I think there's some unique and creative opportunities that we might be able to look at.
So that kind of leads into your vision.
Sure.
You know, whenever you start a new role, you kind of start seeing things
Right.
that are possibilities. And you had done a little bit of research before you started and read, was it called the Horizon
Yeah, it's a
Report?
Horizon Report.
Tell a little about that and where
Sure.
you see the chamber going over the next year or 3 or 5.
I think the challenge is going to be for you and Ed not to think I'm crazy in some of these areas. So I think that'll be the interesting thing. But the Horizon Report was a group of chamber executives that got together and said, what is chambers going to look like in the year 2020 to 2025? And what they found were there were 4 key areas that really chambers really needed to have relevancy in. Public policy certainly critical, and you and I have already been involved in issues and advocacy. Some issues that have come to the forefront. Economic development is another one. Workforce development and education, which is a huge passion of mine. That's a key third element. And then quality of place, quality of life. And that's really fourth, because if you're doing the other 3, that fourth really makes it a place to want to live and work and play and all those things. And so I think those are the areas that chamber executives feel are really critical for chambers to be in today.
One thing, and as you know, I've been with the chamber now for just over a year,
Right.
so I'm a newbie myself, but one thing that I've really enjoyed about the chamber is that quality of place pillar, so to speak, because we are so engaged with the nonprofit community and pulling them into the chamber network nights or our events, or how can we highlight them. And Ed does a great job of promoting the things that they do each week in the e-newsletter. But having a professional symphony in a city our size, and having the social organizations, the fantastic Parks Department, which we talked about on our last episode, and just dedicated the Jack Elster Plaza downtown. But those things are exactly what you said. It makes this want to be a place that people thrive and live and want to raise their family in a safe environment. And so it's exciting to have that element and enable us to build the workforce and do all of those things.
Yeah, you're 100% on the money. It's interesting that the 2 fastest growing demographic sectors in our economy right now, and it's not even close, is the over 60 population and the millennial generation, so the under 30, the 30 and under. Unfortunately and fortunately, so far I'm not either one. I'm getting close to the one demographic, and we'll leave it there. But it's interesting. Those are the 2 sectors that really see the benefit of what you're talking about, the symphonies, the parks, the recreational things. That's where they want to be, and that's where they either A, want to end up with their life or want to get their life started. So I think those are the 2 demographics, and when all the things you talked about hit those market sectors. And then, you know, in between it's important, but those 2 growing sectors, those 2 demographics are really talking to what you're speaking to as well, which is the quality of life things.
So looking at workforce development and education, we have just a couple minutes left, but
Sure.
What elements are there 1 or 2 areas that you feel like the chamber can really make an impact on this year?
Yeah, I think the education piece, which you've done a great job with the Business Education Committee and engaging the schools. And I think, you know, we have a wonderful college campus, colleges in general.
Yes.
Whether it's the seminaries, whether it's Earlham, whether it's IU East. We've got a number of colleges that can play, and Ivy Tech certainly will play a big role in it. And then the K-12 is a huge component today on what you're talking about, and trying to keep people here, retain, recruit talent, and grow talent here. So the education piece and the workforce development piece are critical to all of those things we want to accomplish.
And you know, you mentioned the Business and Education Committee, and that's made up of all of those people, the higher ed and the K-12,
Exactly.
and then the business owners or HR directors that are out in the community trying to fill those roles. And it's really neat to see everybody coming to the table and saying, how can we do this better?
And you're
What
absolutely
changes
right.
can we make?
What's interesting there is those sectors in years past did not communicate real well.
Right.
So to have a forum, and I think the chamber, it makes sense to have it through the chamber to be that collaborator, to get all those talking at once. What are the jobs available? What are the skills necessary? And then how do we get, it's kind of the triangle. So how do we get them there? And how do we support that? And I think that education component that you're overseeing is so critical to the growth of the region.
Well, that is wrapping up our time,
Sure.
but it's exciting to have you here.
Great to be here.
I know the community is really enjoying getting to know you and going to see a lot more of you.
Right.
I'm sure you'll be joining us probably, if not every month, many months right
That would
here.
be great, yeah.
And
you do an excellent job with this, and thank you for having me too.
well, thank you. Welcome back to Chamber Chat. Again, I'm Melissa Vance, and I have with me brand new chamber members, OptiVise IT. We have Kelly and Kyle, and you all are family. This is a family business, right?
Right, correct.
And tell us a little bit about OptiVise IT.
Well, at OptiVise IT, we were established in 2007. We're located in Eaton, Ohio, and we have a team of a great team that makes up over 60 years worth of IT experience.
Wow.
Combined.
That's great.
Yeah, we currently manage a little over 45 networks. We manage networks for business. We strictly work with small businesses. We work with businesses in all different industries. We have clients that are in the medical industry. We do
Banking, CPAs, professional services.
right,
Sure.
service oriented.
Sure.
We typically work for people that have a minimum of 1 server and around 10 or more workstations. So we really focus in on small businesses, bringing their networks up to just a reliable baseline. And then we focus on keeping them going.
Great. I know just from working in a small business now, but also in the past, there are many businesses who get started and they don't have the budget to hire somebody to do this in-house. That's really where you all come in. You can do it as an outside service, fits into a budget line without somebody actually having to hire a full-time person to come and manage.
Correct. What we like to do is we like to provide the vision, right? Small businesses, like you said, they can struggle to have a predictable IT infrastructure, something that is on a daily basis there and serviceable and works for them. Not because they don't have poor intentions, just because IT is difficult, especially as it's growing. And what we like to be is a partner with our customers and provide that vision and provide that value, and make sure that the networks are maintained, make sure that every single day when you walk in to sit down and get some work done, you want to know that network and those computers are there to work for you too. So that's one of our major goals when we're working with our small businesses.
So when you talk about networks, are you backing up systems every night or every week, or
Sure, yeah.
how's that work?
I mean, businesses large or small rely on their data, and making sure that data is there. There are a lot of things out there working against you, and from the accidental deletion of a file to viruses, crypto locker, all of those scary things that happen, and that's what we want to make sure we stay focused on, because as we're working with your network and bringing things up to a standard, we are always focused on making sure we're maintaining your data, and it's always recoverable. So we have tools that we use, and backup appliances, backup software that we use to make sure those files are backed up. We can do it on a 5-minute interval, so they're fully recoverable any moment, under any circumstance.
Great.
Yeah, backup and disaster recovery is really, I would say, the backbone of our service offerings. We really don't like to even go in somewhere without implementing a strong backup, because we really feel like when someone hires us, they are putting, it is putting some trust in us as far as their data and their day-to-day operations. And we go in with the best solutions that we know of. And we're constantly researching those, and definitely want to bring that value to our clients.
Well, and when you talk about medical and HIPAA regulations, and on the finance side, there's a lot of information there that needs to be protected. And knowing that there's somebody that's taking care of that, so that for your own business, you can focus on your own service. Correct. You can focus on providing medical care. You can focus on lending money, or, doing those kinds of things without having to worry about what's happening behind the scenes. And it's great to have people like you there keeping everything going.
We appreciate that.
So you said small businesses are your target. Do you do any services for individuals as well, or is it primarily small business?
We don't do direct end user services. We focus on business. We're good at maintaining business networks. So we've decided to make that our primary focus.
That's great. That's it's nice to have a niche and say, this is it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I think sometimes it's easy to get spread too thin and outside of an area, and if you could specialize, it's
correct.
Really,
we
really
always
good.
love to help, right? And we sympathize, and there's a lot of times we want to jump right in there, but like you said, staying focused and make sure we are taking care of the customers that we've got, and that are expecting us to be there on a daily basis. So.
Right. It really allows us to focus in on, like I said, IT is constantly changing. That's what makes it really hard for our clients and for small businesses to keep up with it. So as IT changes, we are constantly researching. We're very engaged in the IT channel, where we're constantly going to conferences. We sit on boards with some of our vendors. We have good relationships with a lot of different software and hardware vendors. So we're really always researching kind of where the industry is right now and where it's going, because that's essential for us to know, so that we can bring that back to our clients and help them stay ahead of the curve as well.
Absolutely. So are there any tips that you could give our viewers of, if you're going to do 3 things, here's the 3 things we recommend you do, right? Are there any takeaways?
Sure. I can, just...
Aside from hiring you.
Right, no, that's
a given,
tip
right?
number 1. Tip
All
number
us.
No, really, it gives a good opportunity to talk through how we walk through a process with our customers, and the steps that we take, and really, tip number 1 is know what you have. Make sure you have good inventories of your equipment. Know how old things are. Just like a car, preventative maintenance goes a long way. You can't just drive a car until it stops and never change the oil and never do the maintenance. And computers are the same way. And it really is a lot of people out there, they put a computer on their desk and they use it until it starts to cause problems. And that day comes a lot quicker if there's no preventative maintenance that's happening along the way. 2, probably should be number 1, reliable backup. Make sure that your data is protected. There are statistics out there, I don't know off the top of my head, but they're not good. Small businesses, when they lose data, business is affected greatly. You know, it's amazing how quickly that's changed to a point where if the internet's down, if your computers are down, business is down. So make sure you have backups. Make sure you're maintaining those critical files.
And make sure that they are working. A lot of our clients, when we will go and do an assessment of a network or of a backup solution, people will tell us, you know, well, we have backups. We back up every day. And we test those backups as part of our process. And it is not unusual for backups to not be working. Someone is physically taking a backup off-site every night.
Oh, goodness.
Just a lot of people think that they're backed up, but test your backups and make sure that what you are doing really is working.
Right, and along with that, assess what your recovery time is along with those backups, because part of that whole process, you may have a backup and you may know that it's good and those files may be there, but if it takes you a week and a half to obtain hardware and reinstall and get everything loaded back on, having a poor backup is almost as bad as having no backup at all.
Right. So if someone wanted to give you a call and talk about their individual scenario, how would they go about getting a hold of you? What's the best way to reach you?
Right, well, you can go to our website, OptiVise, opta-vise.com. Call us, we'll
800-834-7479.
There you go.
And, our first step is to come out, sit down with you, assess what you have, find out what your needs are, find out where the pain points are. And then the next step for us is to do a complete IT audit assessment. We will come in down to how old the workstations are, how many servers, and what are the specs on those servers, infrastructure, cabling, all of those things, and we will come back with a complete IT assessment on so that we know what you have. And we know where the beginning point is and where we need to go to make your network serviceable and make it a manageable environment. And from there, we have different levels of support that we can engage at, and really it's the customer's choice from there, and we get started, and we like to get in there and get busy. So
I think one of the things that sets us apart as well is that we offer a level of support to our clients where it truly can be a fixed price. Each month you pay one fixed price, and that will include hardware replacement, support. If you have an issue, you call up our office, you get support. You get one bill a month. It includes your backup, everything. And so that really makes your IT very easy to budget.
Right, that's what I was going to say. It's so nice when you can plan ahead and not have huge expenditures in the middle of your fiscal year. So that's great for the people that are going through the budgeting process right now for 2017. Think about OptiVise IT. Well, thank you for being here, and we're excited to have you join the Chamber. I know you're located in Eaton, but you do business in Wayne County, and you're right in the backyard and easily accessible. And we're excited to have you back, I think, in the beginning of the year to do one of our business education breakfasts and hopefully be able to offer some more insights to our chamber members and get to know more people in the community.
Yeah.
So
thanks for having us, and we're excited to engage with the community and with the chamber.
Great. Welcome back to Chamber Chat. I am here now with my partner in crime, Ed De La Paz. We get into a lot of trouble at the office. Well, okay, we don't have time to get into trouble. We're too busy working on things such as...
Well, we just wrapped up doing the Taste of Wayne County's Guide to Dining Out. We finished that a couple weeks ago. It's in print, and it's going to be live, and it's going to be out in the public within literally this week.
A few days, yes.
Yeah, so We're going to have this out in a bunch of locations. You can pick it up at the chamber office. You can pick it up at the tourist bureau. You can pick it up at the First Bank Richmond locations, West End locations, and there's going to be it's going to be all over town. So there's going to be plenty of locations where you can get it.
Libraries, lots of places to pick these up. But just in case you missed last episode or you haven't heard what this guide is all about, it's really a highlight of the local flavors in Wayne County and all of the restaurants and places that locals want to go to. And so I don't know about you, but when I travel, I always want to ask people, where do you go eat? And that's where I want to go. I want to go to some place that I can't get anywhere else.
Oh yeah.
And that's what this is.
Right. It highlights all of the chamber members that are in Wayne County that's a restaurant base. So if you're wondering where do I go to eat today, you can just pull out the guide and be like, and you know what? I think I'll go here.
Right.
And the number one best thing about this guide is that there's tons of coupons in there.
We asked all of these restaurants to give us better than usual coupons, something that's better than what anybody can find in any other publication or online, and they came through.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, places like Gallows, Old Richmond Inn, Papa Murphy's, Muddy Monkey, Radford's. They have a great coupon, but you have to get the guide in order to find out what it is.
Yes.
It's a fantastic
And it's
offer.
not a buy one, get one something. It's just to get one. You really have to check it out. Some places offered free desserts or free appetizers or buy one, get one, entrees. Really great coupons. And you know, there's only one Willie and Reds. There's only one little, well, there's two Little Shebas now, but only in Wayne County can you get Little Shebas. And it really is a great way to celebrate all of the restaurants that we have here. And you got to pick up your guide. You're going to want to. Especially
with Black Friday coming up, make sure that you get your guide so that when you're out shopping, you're hitting up all of these restaurants.
And this is something it's a one-time and done. We printed this guide this time, and we're not going to go back to print when they run out. It's when they're gone, they're gone. So you have to make sure you pick up your guides and get out there and use your coupons. A lot of them expire at the end of the year, so you want to make sure that you get them all used before that.
Correct. And then the one last thing, don't forget the annual dinner is coming up.
Yes, January 20th. We have a fantastic, engaging speaker this year. He owns a marketing firm in Indianapolis, and he's going to be fabulous. And we have a lot of tricks up our sleeve. I think we'll probably talk more about that next month, but it's exciting.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for having me on here.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us for Chamber Chat.